Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the notes section below for some important links to all my old videos that I'm about to mention in this new video, which is called the review of my 2016 Bitcoin predictions. So yes, at the beginning of this year, the first few months, I made some predictions about what was going to happen in terms of Bitcoin in 2016. And the videos are up there. I will link to them below. You can check it out, but we're going to discuss each one. So let's go back not too far to May 31st, 2016. I had a Bitcoin prediction show, and I said in 2018, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin will all be worth more than today. Okay, so we're not at 2018 yet, but keep an eye on that one. I think it's looking good for Bitcoin still. Who knows? But that's out there. I want you all to know that that video is out there. I'm not running from it or anything like that. All right, next. This is from March 21st, 2016. Bitcoin predictions. A yet-to-be-expressed social media concept will propel Bitcoin to mass adoption. Interesting. I still think that that's going to happen. Something that we really can't conceive right now that involves social media will send Bitcoin to mass adoption. I didn't say when that was going to happen, though. But that's a prediction to keep in mind. So that wasn't a 2016 prediction, but it was a prediction I made in 2016. The interesting thing about that is that some would say, wait a second, is this what Steemit? Is this sort of a Steemit? Did you foresee Steemit? No, I didn't foresee Steemit. I'm not a psychic. But it does sound a little like when Steemit came out, everyone was excited, like this is going to get Bitcoin mass adoption because people are going to get on this. They're not going to realize they're earning cryptocurrency, and then they're going to be able to trade it in for Bitcoin. Hey, so maybe that is the answer. I don't know. It's interesting. It's funny that I made a video and then Steemit did come out a few months later. All right, January 31st, 2016. Bitcoin predictions. This is a good one. No doomsday economic collapse in 2016. The Fed has many tricks left. Okay, this one, I guess maybe I'm most proud of this one because it's so simple. I said the world wasn't going to end in 2016. I said everyone, predicts hyperinflation, all these juicy things so they can get on Greg Hunter. And Greg Hunter just, he puts those guys on over and over and over again. And so they can get lots of hits because if you say, the economic collapse is just right around the corner in 2016, you'll do real well. And I said the complete opposite, that no, 2016 would be fine. No doomsday economic collapse. So you can review that one. That's gotta use your head, guys. And by the way, I think I'll say the same thing in 2017. No doomsday economic collapse. But we're not at the 2017 prediction show yet. That'll be coming up at the end of the month, hopefully. All right, Bitcoin predictions. A major gold bug YouTube channel will open up to Bitcoin and Bitcoin guests in 2016. I said that January 25th, 2016. That I don't think has happened. I don't think one of these, I consider like Greg Hunter a major gold bug channel. And I guess that's the biggest one I watch. He did not have any specific Bitcoin guest on, and he hasn't really spoken about Bitcoin. But we have individual gold bugs who don't have their own shows. Andy Hoffman in particular, who I did not know at this time back then, who has become a Bitcoin fan and has gone on shows and has mentioned Bitcoin on his podcast. So he does have his own show. Hey, so maybe I'm right about that one. He does have his own podcast. Andy Hoffman has his own podcast. Miles Franklin, Precious Metals, check him out. So, the sentiment of gold people is not anti-Bitcoin anymore. I don't think, not as anti. I mean, Peter Schiff is still the same. So whatever. That one was you're going to decide on your own. But Andy Hoffman is major, so that's good. Good job, Andy, for changing your mind and becoming a Bitcoin fan. So Bitcoin predictions: a 2016 Chinese currency panic will lead to Bitcoin and Litecoin price spikes. All right, no Litecoin price spike this year. There was no Litecoin price spike. I did that January 13th, 2016. I said that. And again, all of these will be linked to below so you can review every one. But there were a couple Bitcoin price spikes during the year. And people did try to attribute them to Chinese currency issues with the yuan, panics, people trying to get money out. Do we know the real reasons behind half of these events? No. So my prediction is something that people use as a reason, but did it really happen? Maybe, sort of, kind of. It is good logic. It is good logic that China will move the market, and China had to have helped move the market this year. I mean, that's the bottom line, I guess. So think about that one. All right, final one, and it was the first one of the year, and this is the one people have actually replied to recently, have brought up to me numerous times. Bitcoin predictions: the halving will go mainstream, and Bitcoin will hit $700 in 2016. All right, so that did happen. That very much happened. I hit that one right on. I mean, I hit a home run on that one. Bitcoin at the time, when was that? January 11th, 2016. January 11th, 2016. There was no mainstream media coverage of anything. The word halving wasn't in the mainstream vocabulary. By the time we got up to the halving event, it was in the mainstream news, and Bitcoin hit $700 around before the halving, and it is around $700 right now. Now, I believe in the video I say it'll close around $650 at the end of the year. So I was wrong about that. I believe you can review that. I mean, maybe it will close at $650 still. I don't know. I don't want it to. I don't want to be right on that. I wanted to close at $800, but I did hit that $700 number real nice. That wasn't a number a lot of people were saying. At Bitcoin, I think it was around $400 at the time when I made that video. Again, check out all the details yourself. So those were my predictions. So now I have to admit the truth. I have a secret computer algorithm. It's called the Web Bowie, or the Bowie Bot. And basically, it analyzes David Bowie lyrics from the 1970s. And it tells me what's going to happen. So let us study Panic in Detroit by David Bowie. He looked a lot like Che Guevara, drove a diesel van, kept his gun in quiet seclusion, such a humble man, the only survivor of the National People's Gang. Clearly, he is predicting the death of Fidel Castro back a few weeks ago. He mentions Che Guevara. He mentions a quiet seclusion and a humble because Fidel was so humble, of course. And he was the only survivor of the National People's Gang. He was the last of those crazy communists. Oh, nothing wrong with the communists. No. So yes, clearly. And then it says, Panic in Detroit. I asked for an autograph. Now that is kind of alluding to getting a baseball player's autograph. And then we can couple that with the David Bowie song 1984. So coupling the autograph, Panic in Detroit, and 1984 all together, we see David Bowie predicted that in 1984, the Detroit Tigers would win the World Series. Clearly this prediction was made by David Bowie. And had I been, aware at the time, I would have brought this up. So let's fast forward a little bit further on into the song, Panic in Detroit. I might have skipped a few things here. I'm sorry. I didn't take notes. Putting on my clothes, I made my way to school, and I found my teacher crouching in his overalls. I screamed and ran to smash my favorite slot machine. Oh my. The slot machine, he's predicting that eventually cities like Detroit and Baltimore would rely on these gambling casinos. They would resort to the lowest of the low and create these situations where they would only make gambling legal for these big corporations and use it as a gimmick, and use the state to enforce gambling on people and create, just look at the lyrics. Come on, I don't have to explain. Having scored $1 trillion. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! He is David Bowie is predicting hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. He's predicting it for 2015, clearly in 2050. 14, 13, 12, 11, 2011. Gerald Celente. 2010, we're going to have hyperinflation. Gerald Celente. Zionist. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. Remember, I own the Bowie Bot. The Bowie Bot is mine. Don't use it. Copyright.